Aloha. Now we're going to look at the WOD called WebIO-CountURL. And the idea, prior to doing this, you probably want to look at how to make Java launch configurations, as well as how to create new jar files, because those would be good things to do for this. So basically, we're going to create this Eclipse project called WebIO-CountURL. So forth. Before I start, I better get my timer going. So let's create that project. So in Eclipse, we'll say new Java project, and it's going to be WebIO-CountURL. And then we want a package in there to hold our work. So WebIO-CountURL, and that this implements the WebIO-CountURL WOD. Oh, and also, now that I think about it, because I'm not seeing my little check style things, let's go to project properties and go to check style, enable check style, yes, rebuild it. And now I want to create a new Java class called WebIO-CountURL. And I want the main method in there, and then I've got to quickly make implements the WebIO-CountURL WOD, and this is where I'll put my actual comments. So we're going to read URL from command line, count the tokens, print them out. Args. One arg holds the URL. Alrighty. So what we'll do, since this is kind of a copy of the last one, what we'll do is we'll go to WebIO-Count this, and we'll just copy out the body of the main from the last one and paste it into this. Okay, so we do that, and what's kind of cool, as you notice, is that Eclipse, even though I was just pasting the body, it pastes in all the import statements, which is super awesome. But we got some errors here, and if we look at it, we can see that it doesn't know about these classes, and it doesn't know about these classes because we forgot to put them on the build path. So let's go back into project properties. This time we go to Java build path, libraries, add external jars, select all these, put them in there, say OK, and voila, all of these things are gone. But we still have some problems here. We have these unhandled exception types. And we do say we're supposed to signal an error if there's a problem. So I think what we want to do this time, we don't want to just throw the exception outside the main, because then we'll get an ugly stack trace for our clients, and that, you know, is kind of bogus. So what I'm going to do is say catch exception E. And we'll say system.out.println error plus e.get message. And then we've got an extra parentheses in here, so we get all that, and that doesn't look good. So let's do our format. In a little bit, I'm busy right now. I just heard a knock on the door, and I'm blowing them off till I finish this WOD, because, you know, there's time pressure here. Okay, so that's now this works, but we're still retrieving this cnn.com, so we've got to replace this by our command line arg, which is that. Well, not quite that, which is this. Okay, and having done that, we want to run it. So what we do for that is we go to Run Configurations, okay, and we want to pass a command line argument. So I've already did this once. I forgot to put the timer on, so I got halfway through. So we type in to the program arguments dialog box what we want in the command line, and we can go run, and what we can see is we get 5730, which is good. And if we go back and edit this, and we change this to say edu, which is bogus, okay, what we do is we get an error saying www.cnn.edu doesn't know what that is. Okay, so that's working pretty good. The only problem is we're not really doing it from the command line. So to do it from the command line, what we'd really like to do is create a jar file. So the way we do that is we go to File, Export, Runnable Jar File, Next, and really want that launch configuration, although it doesn't make too much difference. I'll specify WebIO.jar, extract libraries, click Finish. It's going to repack reference libraries, review the licenses. Okay, it's Apache, licenses should be okay. So we click OK. Now we go to the command line and we say java-jar, webio.jar, http www.cnn.com. We can see 5730. I don't know, we could say try hawaii.edu, 1726, you know, kind of whatever you want to do. All right, so that's the WOD, and we did it in about 6.5 minutes.